Chapter 1.2 The Vortex. Yinka saw his fist disappear infinitely as he was sucked into a swirling vortex. He could feel his body stretching from the core outwards, as if he were being pulled in different directions. He glanced at his feet as they turned into scales, then fins. He found himself transformed into a fish, swimming through the vast expanse of time and space. He could see stars and galaxies whizzing by as he swam through the infinite multiverse. He could feel the pull of gravity and the flow of time. He knew he was experiencing something truly extraordinary. He could feel himself growing larger and larger, until he felt as if he were the size of a planet or even a galaxy. He swam through the infinite ocean of space and time, encountering wonders beyond his wildest imagination. He felt a sense of freedom, strength, and wonder as he realized there were no limits to what he could experience. As he traveled through the swirling mist of time, he could hear the sound of distant drums and the voices of warriors singing as they went into battle. They grew louder and more intense as he journeyed deeper into the past. The drums were a call to arms, driving him forward. He swam through the ages, saw the complex networks of trade, commerce, and culture exchange between peoples, nations, and civilizations. He was in awe and wonder as he witnessed the grand sweep of history, from the ancient kingdoms to modern times. It seems now that he didn't have to swim, he was being drawn by a current towards the now seemingly very distant drums. He felt like he had been swimming for eons, so he allowed himself to be carried by the current of time and space. The more he focused on the sound of the drums, the faster he seemed to travel and the louder they became, until the entirety of existence narrowed to a single point of light and the deepest tone he had ever experienced, which seemed to vibrate the very center of his core, to a singularity. Then suddenly what seemed like a billion senses reduced to just sight, sound, and touch. There was no taste in his mouth and no smell of anything. All he saw was red, black, and green mist and a silence so loud he had to feel his ears to check they were still there. As Yinka emerged from the vortex, the experience seemed to become blurry. He could not comprehend the vastness of it. As he began to become aware of his senses, he smelled or tasted something in the air. Then he realized he was standing on 2 feet. A memory of fins and scales flashes through his mind, and he wonders if it is even air he smells. The vortex had not only changed him physically but also spiritually. He felt more connected to the universe and the earth, a sense of belonging and understanding that he had never experienced before. As his sight clears and he becomes aware of his immediate environment, he finds himself standing in the middle of what appears to be a big green blur. He looks behind him to see if the way back is still there, but all he sees is a thick green blur. He looks down to his feet again and a path starts to come into focus. As his sight clears, he immediately becomes amazed at the lush foliage that surrounds him. The trees were tall and majestic, their leaves a deep, rich green. The undergrowth was thick with ferns and mosses, and he could see exotic flowers in vibrant hues of red, orange, and purple. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the sweet aroma of blooming flowers. The path in front snakes off into the jungle, and there is no way back, no path behind, no vortex. For a moment Yinka considered moving off the path and advancing parallel to it, so as to see before being seen, but quickly dismisses it when he considers how ridiculous it would be to think he could outflank who or whatever brought him here through time and space. As Yinka cautiously walked deeper into the jungle, he encountered a wide variety of creatures, each more colorful and exotic than the last. He saw brightly plumed birds with feathers in shades of blue and yellow, monkeys with fur in hues of red and orange, and butterflies with wings that shimmered like jewels. He could hear the chirping of crickets and the distant roar of some unseen creature. He felt like he was on another plane of existence, a world unlike any he could ever imagine. The colors were more intense and vivid, the scent more pungent and heady. It was as if he had been transported to a place that existed beyond the realm of ordinary time, space, and reality. As he walked, he could see carvings on the trees and rocks. He could tell that this was a sacred place. He was humbled at the energy and the spirit he sensed of ancient people that walked this land. As he followed the winding path through the ancient jungle, he felt a sense of connection to this place, as if he had always existed here.
Never let it ever be said you're out of your head, your sanity fled. Never let a negative word be more than a turd, that would be absurd. Meaning seems to bend at your will, a phrase that can love can suddenly kill. Feel the meaning out of his way, it's deeper than they, don't care what they say. I know your frustration, like a train stuck in a station, your steam dreams evaporation.